Oh my, how fancy.
There you go. Hello.
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 Oh, now I lost my
Then you just go up to the side and click on comments.
Oh, hold on, let me mute myself. So I go up to the side and do what?
Click on
Oh,
comments.
How did I live without you?
How do you live with him? That's the trouble.
Exactly. I'm thinking that.
Thanks.
Tough crowd here. It's a tough crowd here.
We love him rarely.
All right, so be careful, people. I'm throwing wrenches. Especially, I sent one your way. Well, good morning, and afternoon. So welcome to the British Invasion, starring Longman Tarot. Here you go, Beneficial Tarot. Like, subscribe, do all that magical stuff. I am so excited. Yes, look at Gerald, just all those beautiful things. So excited, and Ritchie and Ben. And so I'm just going to out Ben. Ben is the illegitimate child of Prince Charles. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Wow.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Right there. Boom.
The machine of the monarchy is coming for Ben.
That's right. I'm letting Queen Liz know that, hey. I had this whole thing that I wanted my daughter to marry Prince William. So he's like 10 years older than her. And I was like, oh, you're going to get this British money. You're going to get over there. And then I saw, well, they didn't do well with Meghan and Markle. So maybe it was okay. Maybe it was okay. But so total change of subject for a minute. Ritchie and Ben, is there talk in the press about Queen Elizabeth and her age and her health? And
so they don't talk about it, do they, Ritchie, that much? But
it's suggested. There's things that are suggested. For example, we're getting a new prime minister on Monday after the what they call it, the contest after Boris. And normally the Queen would welcome the new prime minister at Buckingham Palace, but she's in Balmoral in Scotland, and so the prime minister is coming up to Scotland. So she's not travelling, and she's cancelling quite a few things as well. So.
When I worked for
the lady, bless her.
When I worked for the council,
go ahead, Ben.
I was just saying, when I worked for the council, I think it was back in 2019. They were sent information to say, we've got to prepare. We were asked to kind of prepare for the Queen eventually passing on, and so it was kind of unsaid, but it was like just preparing everybody. But that was like 3 years ago now, and she's still here, bless her. She's fabulous.
Hello, Jamie. I will say, she is 97.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Just saying, it's like, dag, even if she was feeling well, why does she have to keep working so hard? She does have a grown son who can do a lot of that stuff. Just, show up at the end of Parliament when Parliament opens with your beautiful crown and all that, and then go trooping the colors, do that because that's her birthday celebration, right? Yeah. Show up at that and then put Charles to work and Prince William and all. Just like.
But she is very dedicated to what she does. She is a queen for the people, and really, she steps up. It's going to be hard to follow her. She took an oath. Yes, Ben,
she took an oath, and I think she sticks to that.
Yes, there's no way she's going to stand down. She's in it to the very end.
That's true, and I think because she also became the queen in the midst of all of that, what happened with Prince Edward and stuff like that. And I'm sure her mother told her, make sure that this never happens again. And her mother lived to be 101, so they still got like a 4-year span. Yeah. Look at me, an American, and look at all this stuff I know. I love me some Queen Elizabeth. I'm not sure when Prince Charles, my heart goes out to him. Lily's been hating on Elvis forever. And here in Memphis, Elvis is like the king still.
Yes.
And so she's been hating on him. He was fat and he died on the toilet, which a lot of people have strokes and stuff when they're on the toilet because they're bearing down and their host. Anyway, so she watched the Elvis movie. And she found out he was white trash from here, that Colonel Tom totally controlled him, so she sees this whole thing. So my heart goes out to Prince Charles, because here he is, he loves someone else, but you know, she wasn't appropriate. And so I get it. You know, he spent so much of his life doing all these things that were expected of him. And so
yeah, I know.
Just saying, look at that. We have the British invasion and the monarchy is already taking over my channel.
There you go.
Can you believe this? Welcome. The monarchy is already taking over the channel.
There you go.
I love it.
Already taking over the channel. Oh, good. Looks like Prince Charles doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I like that. Thank you for sharing.
I have been aware of that. He's done a lot for British industry and British tradition, and so
he's been talking a lot. Sorry, Richie, go ahead.
I think one of the hardest working royals is Princess Anne. There was a documentary about her a few years ago, and literally her diary is full all year round, and she's going to 4 or 5 things, you know, a day, and she doesn't really get the she doesn't really want the recognition. Perhaps she's not in the spotlight as much as some of the others, but I know she works incredibly hard for all the charities and and everything as well, being a person doing that.
That's true, because she's behind the scenes, and you know, sometimes you just got to get the stuff done.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Not be all up in the space.
Charles is all about growth as well as being green as well. He's all about that, isn't he? You know, which I think is really good.
I'm sorry, Ben. I beg your pardon. What did you say, Ben?
He's all about you know, stopping more pollution and making things more green. He's a big push for that, which I think is great. You know.
So I thought my daughter was having a seizure because you see her name there, Lily Benu. I thought, what? I think she's trying to say in British, "Hello, governor," because I'm like, oh my God, do I need to send Gail into my daughter's room? She's having a seizure.
And I saw Janet P come in, and Patrice is here.
No, we got Beth, Jamie, Janet P, Patrice, just so many good people. So many good people. Lily Benu.
Yeah.
So it's all very good. It's all very good. Welcome, welcome. And thank you to all the people who watch this after the fact. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you're here. So all of these fine gents, you can see their information is underneath here. Go to every page, like and subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to me if you don't already. Watch my mornings with Minnassa. So all these gents, their links are in the thing below. And I also have a link to make a donation to Out Memphis. Sonia lurking. I have the link to Out Memphis. So many of you know, if you follow me somewhere, that I did a mindfulness session. Well, I was going to do that at a completely different, another LGBTQ affirming place, but at the last minute, basically as a stranger, thank God, Audrey May, a longtime LGBTQ person and advocate here in Memphis. I went to Out Memphis saying, can you please host this? She sent an email saying she's good, and they opened their door to me. What I didn't know is they had to change their schedule to accommodate me. Never said a word to me about that.
Wow.
Yes, changed their schedule for me, accommodated me, so welcoming, always there, empowering. And this is in Tennessee. Now I'm in West Tennessee. So in this whole long state that touches other states, so see, I say that Tennessee's a hoe because it's touching all these interactions with all these other states, right? But this is the LGBTQ center for this whole state.
Oh my gosh.
There is not one in Mississippi. So we're in a tri-state here. So like Arkansas, Tennessee, and Mississippi. And so people are coming from Arkansas, from Mississippi. And so if you can, and it's also my birthday from my birthday thing on Facebook, to please donate to this organization. They are saving people's lives. And like one day I left the session, I saw these 2 people and they were walking all slow and it was hot as hell. And, you know, I try like just mind your own business. I'm like, no, roll down my window. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, Black lady assault. I'm like, go back to out Memphis. Get you a drink of water. They have some food. They like their clothes. I'm like, no, they're not. You know, they went back, a place to have rest, a place, you know, a place where the trans community feels safe. They do.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Minnassa rolling down her window and shouting at you? I think all of us would do what she says. I'm just saying. I'm like, ooh, girl. Okay.
I better go once this thing up.
So yeah, so please, if you are able, check in your spirit. The link is below to really donate to this place. They are saving lives and helping people and things like that. Oh, Cheyenne from Soulful Soothe is here. So yeah, so please do that. All right, we are already 10 minutes in, and we're just Queen Elizabeth took over the place, the monarchy. I feel like she's released it back to us. So now
I blame it on Ben.
Yeah.
Ben? That's true. You know.
They're always blaming it on me, Minnassa. I'm their scapegoat.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have to, you know, control these two tonight.
Oh, Patrice is like, Minnassa's yelling at me at the window. I'm going to run right over to her.
Oh, there you go.
Welcome. You know, I probably should have stopped the car and got out and approached them, but it was hot. I was trying not to get out of the car either. So I'm
yeah. Hugs to Vernetta, by the way, Patrice.
What did you say?
Hugs to Vernetta. That's Patrice's wife.
Patrice, I didn't know you had a wife. I have one of those too.
I don't.
No, you have you ain't even got a husband. I was trying to do your wedding.
I have a fiance.
I know. What's up with that? Gerald, don't be like Black people and be engaged for like 14 years. Have like, there's these people, they get married, they get engaged because I'm not going to talk about Black men, but they give you that ring and then think, okay, and then you have like 7 kids with them. It's like, get married.
No, we're not having any children. We've agreed to that.
You ain't even married. What you trying to do? Have some kids?
No. Wow. That just went off the rails. Thanks, Ben. Look what you did. I should have brought my biscuits. My biscuits are on the other side there. Holy mackerel.
Cheyenne, you know Black people be like that. Never get married, but engaged. Be at the family reunion. Oh yeah, we've been engaged 25 years. Wow. Engaged 20, y'all. Okay, but that's a whole different thing. That's right. I'm preaching it. I'm just saying. But that's a whole different thing. I'm just saying. You're in Western North Carolina. Okay, I'm in Western Tennessee. We're not too far away. All right, we're going to work it out. I'm going to meet Gerald and Jeffrey too. I already told Gerald where the cities in between where we live. So.
Yeah, you know, hashtag overachiever. She's like going, well, this is the halfway point. It's only an 8-hour drive. And it's like, okay.
That's right. Here's the restaurants nearby that we could eat at. I'm just saying. See, that's what the pandemic did to me. I love meat. Like with Gail, this is true. I just drag her around. When we lived in California, we used to go to San Diego to Mike and Rafi, who lived down there. I would drag her around. I need to drag her around anywhere during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, I'm gonna come over there to Great Britain too.
You should.
We welcome you off the plane.
Totally.
My cousin Mark lives there. Mark Bayless. He lives in Great Britain because my uncle was stationed there. My Aunt Chris, who I miss, may she rest in peace. He married him a nice British girl, but brought her back to the U.S. And Mark went back to Great Britain when he got 18. Actually, that's not the truth, but I'll just say he eventually went back to Great Britain. There's a whole different story there, but he reconnected with our family and he was here when he died. He came. So it's funny because I hadn't seen him in years. And then when he starts talking, his accent was so lovely. I don't know what he said to me initially. I was like, what are you saying? What did you say, Mark?
That's funny.
It's all good. All right. So Tarot Love Community is here. Renee, we can actually get started now.
Hi, Renee. Ooh, thank goodness Renee's here.
So one of the things, if you know, last four, let's go is my hashtag for this month. And I've been talking about it in my mornings with Minnassa. I am speaking at the Unity Church in the third Sunday of this month. I'm going to talk about it. You know, we got to do something. This community has come together. We have the capacity to really be a transformative presence. We were talking in the beginning about, you know, I'm not on the, I don't know, Ebenezer Baptist Church YouTube, putting in Love Tarot, Queen of Hearts. You know, I'm not over there doing that. And yet they're over here in our mess. But we have got the capacity to shine our lights. And so I've asked these three handsome gents, I'm just for a minute, everyone just take a moment and look at this screen. Look, these three, and you know, look at this screen, these three handsome dudes. And so here we go, you know. Beauty comes in all sides. And let me tell you, also look at this screen because you are looking at LGBTQ plus magic right here. Right here.
Yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
some magic. Indeed. Indeed. So I asked each, so what we're going to do is we're each going to pull from 4 cards from the tarot deck for September, October, November, December. So gentlemen, if you want to shuffle your cards, I'll get mine. I'm using my Spirit Song Tarot deck.
Nice.
Love that.
Yes, know your limits, purchase responsibly. This isn't for you to buy some, it's just letting you know. And so, gents, let's say we'll all pull 4 cards, and then we'll go over each card for September, October, November, December in a row. What do you think about that? Yes, LGBTQ magic.
Ritchie, what deck are you using?
Yes.
I'm using the steampunk.
Oh, yeah. Didn't you do something steampunkish recently?
I'm in the middle of steampunk. I've been to a steampunk festival today, and I was very good because I didn't have anything to drink because I knew I was coming on here later.
I know. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine because I'm going back after this, and I've
perfect. Drink it up.
So I've got a different outfit and everything. So
put a picture on Facebook.
I'll try and take one.
Yes, make sure you do.
Now,
yes.
I fancy Ritchie in his outfit.
Did Peter put out Tarot Trooper? Did Peter put out Tarot Trooper? I don't see him.
Oh, yes, he is there, but he is there.
You have to look.
But Ben's got his own now.
Yes.
What does he have? Oh, the Stash Trooper?
Stash Trooper.
Stash Trooper, yeah.
And it was presented to me by...
Oh, my goodness.
Himself.
I am so excited. Gerald, I was so jealous on your page. I'm like, how you got Ben Bell Win on your page? I mean, do you remember when Jonathan went over her major arcana? I thought my head was going to explode. I'm like, how can there be so much? And here she is on my page.
There you go.
Win, you are welcome. Thank you for being the mystical Empress Monarch of Tarot. I have 4 of your books that my friend gave me. She's like, you're going to create like this. You're going to do what Ben Bill. I'm like, no, girl, not in this lifetime.
Not going to do that.
Not in this lifetime. So thank you for being here, sweetheart. All right, so 4 cards. Oh, so Ritchie, what deck are you using?
I'm using the steampunk.
Oh, no, steampunk.
Yeah.
I know. I looked right at Ben and said Ritchie. So Ben.
We're very similar.
What deck are you using?
We are.
Yes, you're British. All the British are alike, right? You're British gays, so you're all alike.
That's right.
I'm using the anime tarot.
Anime. My daughter loves anime. I wish you had shown that because now she's going to buy it.
Gotta love a bit of anime.
That's right. And TarotStache, my boyfriend, what are you using?
I'm using the Pulp Tarot.
Oh my Lord!
I am with Amy from Mystic Rose Tarot tomorrow. We're doing readings with this tomorrow evening.
Excellent.
So
I think I have the tamest deck. I should have got like Naked Lady Tarot deck. Is there such a thing?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to get that because then I might be looking at it too much. Just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Like the ladies.
So we're doing 4 piles, correct?
4 cards. I want to thank all of you for being here. Thank those of you that watch later. Please, if you don't already, these amazing gents on here, Ritchie Longman Tarot, Ben Beneficial Tarot, Gerald TarotStache, please, please, please go to their pages and subscribe. And while you're here, do the same for mine. Please hit in like. I always forget those things, like forget to say those things. I'm so excited about the show. And for those of you who are lurking, love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be. All right. So are we ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start. I was trying to think on here. You're to my right, Ritchie. So Ritchie, you're to my right. Let's have you start. What is your card for September?
September, I've got the 5 of Wands.
5 of Wands. So what is your interpretation then?
I always think of this one as, like when you're at work and you're having a bit of a gossip, over the water cooler or something like that, or you're just having a bit of a chat. There's a chance that it could get out of control if you're not careful. So the 5 of Wands is a bit about just be really careful, because you're on a knife edge of literally tipping over into making this much worse. And it only takes somebody to say something to become like Chinese whispers that then builds and builds. Before you know it, what we thought was fun is going to become nasty and upsetting and hurt people. So 5 of Wands. Be careful what you talk about. Be careful what you do.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Zane, I don't think I've ever had him on my channel. Now I'm going to have to invite him to come on the show. Welcome.
Hi, Zane.
Hey, Zane.
All right, Gerald, what is your show for September? Your card for September?
7 of Swords.
Kind of similar vein. All right, what do you got?
So I'm thinking with the 7 of Swords, there is a need to be cautious and to not be stealing things that do not belong to me. It's an important reminder to give credit to where credit is due, but this is something that is trying to be hidden. And you look at her; she's like discovered as she's trying to steal from the safe. So September is about that, being cautious and knowing what is mine and what is everybody else's, and as well watching what I'm saying. Swords are about thought, word, and deed. So if I say it, then I have to be willing to hear it back, read back to me.
Years ago, a woman told me, don't say something once that you're not willing to say twice.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Yes. And I always love it. I always love the idea of always tell the truth, because that way you don't have to remember anything.
You don't have to remember the lie you made up. Exactly.
Yep.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm learning.
Deep thoughts.
All right, Mr. Ben.
So this is interesting because I think it follows on from that, sort of. So I've got the Queen of Wands, and to me, this is a lady or person that is taking back control. That this is a confident person, and in light of what Rich and Gerald have said, it's saying that you can take control back during that month, maybe, and sit in your own power. There, this woman is confident. She knows what she wants, and it's about being in that kind of mode, I think. Because we're in, is it retrograde again or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, Lily mentioned that.
Yeah.
Mercury is going retrograde, next Friday?
The 9th year or the 10th year, depending on your time zone.
And it's about sitting in our own power and, taking back that bit of control, I think.
I think it is just wisdom, and all those cards are ready, because when you're at the water cooler, watch what you say, especially Mercury retrograde. And again, be careful what you're doing at work. Don't be appropriating, but use this time to take back your power. And then my card is the 6 of shells. See, I know Gerald doesn't like cards like this. It's like, what is shells? Right? It's not.
I would imagine it's cups. She's calling me out for things that I don't think I've ever said.
That's right.
People.
So sentiment
Let's just
and
be clear.
joy. And so I think if you let your focus be on what brings you joy, what do you enjoy, and then let those be the words coming out of your mouth. So when you're at the water cooler, be careful what you're saying, and that's how you step into your power. You know, when you're stealing, make sure that what you're saying is what you believe. I think oftentimes people mimic what they see other people are all about. I think part of that's what the feeling I get from Gerald's cards. Like, you're so busy trying to sound like Kim Kardashian and all these other people. You just be yourself. That Queen of Wands. Just be yourself. Seascape, hello.
Hi, Seascape.
All right, next card, which is for October. And so, yes, Mercury's in retrograde, which everyone is all traumatized about. It's a time to rest. And Janet P, I hope you see I throwed you a wrench.
You've been wrenched.
I mean, I know I'm wrenching people. So, yes, take that time. Be present. Be present in what you're saying at work, how you're communicating and presenting yourself online. And then, yeah, where's your power? Are you giving it away or are you taking it back? Ow! Okay. October. All right, so we'll go in reverse order. So, Ben,
okay.
What is your October card?
So I got the Hanged Man for October. So it's with it being a major arcana card as well, I always think it's important. So it's a good time to be still, you know, not move about too much, maybe look at things from a different perspective than what you've been doing, but not just to be still. Maybe it's a period after September that we just need to kind of, you know, take a step back and reflect on things. So yeah, that is my card for October.
All right. Thank you, sir.
I got the Six of Pentacles. So in October, there's this opportunity for us to give and to receive. And it's time to be generous, because thinking about what is happening here in the States in November, we need to actually put action forward. We need to support. And it is, for me, it's an oftentimes, you know, this has a scale on it. And I believe the Six of Pentacles, it is about making sure that we have what we need, because in October is Samhain. It's the last harvest. So what do we have? Do we have more than what we actually need? And perhaps it's a good opportunity to share that, because money is energy. And if you prove to the universe that you know how to handle it, meaning you share it, universe can provide you more.
And I mean, that's very true. That's one of the things that I've been talking about is, what is the harvest? What are you bringing to yourself? Because also those seeds can be planted in the darkness of the winter.
Yes.
What you're going to bring up. Excellent. Excellent. Mr. Ritchie, Longman.
A lovely card for October, because the clocks have changed. So we've got the lanterns out. I've got the Three of Wands here. And this card's saying, keep to the plan. The Two of Wands is all about making those plans and getting ready, and the Three of Wands is about it's all happening, but it's not finalized yet. You've still got some way to go. So keep doing what you're doing. It's only October. It's not the end of the year. Keep going. Stick to the plan. The plan that you made earlier on in the year is fine. It doesn't need tinkering or playing about with. You've just got to let it see it through to the end.
I like that. Don't give up any hope, because you're not done yet. It's not, the story isn't complete.
Correct. So is a wrench in Britain called a spanner?
A spanner, yes.
That's right. So as Joan B was talking about it, she's like, I have one. I'm like, yeah, girl, I spannered you probably a couple shows ago. And then my card, which I think is very interesting, is the sun. And so I think it fits with all those the cards about focusing. Let the light stay clear, that as we're headed towards the dark, still let that light, vitality and joy, moving forward, doing those things. It's be clear. You're seeing correctly, so stay the course. You know, and where you have generosity and where you have abundance, allow it to share.
Yes.
And then Ben, that whole time about being reflective. Do it when the sun's out, when you can see clearly.
Yes. Definitely. I love that.
Definitely. All right. So our card for November, we're going to start in the middle with my boyfriend, Gerald.
Okay. Justice.
Oh, I love that card.
I thought you might, Minnassa.
That's Foxy Brown.
Is that better? It is Foxy Brown, kicking ass, taking names. Actually, kicking ass and not even bothering to take names.
Exactly. Pam Grier.
Yes.
Which, let me say something about her. I told Gail I think that she's a lesbian because she has never been married, doesn't have any children. I've never seen her, when I was a little girl, remember, with a man on her arm. She's very private.
That right there.
So justice here, we have an election in November. I'll leave it at that. But also
right.
Justice this brings a lot of power, and it's an important thing because it's going in and making sure the facts show up and holding people accountable.
Indeed.
So November is about accountability.
Indeed. And hello, Orsi. And so I'm going to go. So I got the Queen of Crystals. And so this is about comfort and prosperity. I think it's very true that things, to me, talking about things getting on track. We're going to get things settled here in this country and then also around the world, because, I remember when Putin first went into Ukraine, it was like on the news, on everything. Now it's like, I don't even see, it's like, is the war still happening? Because I think that it's not front page news because, again, you have sort of the history of this small group. It's like, oh, hell no. So I get the feeling that some things are going to also get straightened out, that Queen of Pentacles ready to just, again, we're just going to take care of it. All right, let's go to Ritchie.
Okay, so I've got death card, so it's all over, everyone.
There you go.
You may remember I said October, keep to the plan. Now the plan has finished. It has done its duty. It's done what it needed to do. It's time now, November, to go and just see it through, finish off, leave it tidy. If you're going to finish something, try and keep it tidy. Don't leave it all messy and it's hanging out of it. Also, we got a scythe in there, but you were talking about harvest as well, weren't you? So we might be actually talking about harvesting that final push of what we've been trying to do all year. Don't mourn it. It's supposed to go. Recognize it and move on.
Now, is that the death card?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, I mean, let's remember, death can be very beautiful.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Usually they have like a skeleton or something. So that is very beautiful.
Similar to the sun card, isn't it? With a baby and a child and a horse there. So it's got, the opposite of that really in many ways.
Very true. Very true. All right, Ben, close us out for November.
Well, I've got the Lovers card going on here.
Oh, bum chicka bow wow.
So for me.
Oh, here, let's put Pam Grier up here to distract Minnassa.
Oh my goodness, it's working.
So to me, this is all about relationships, and not just relationships with ourselves and other people, but relationships to the things around us. And I think the message is as well is that in order to create meaningful relationships, we have to be true to ourselves. So I think that's the message for me from November.
Nice.
All right.
3 majors though. 3 majors in November.
Yes.
Big deal. That's a good point.
There you go.
So the Lovers, Justice, and Death.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Pet Shop Boys song, doesn't it?
Indeed. For entertainment purposes only, but I always say for inspirational, educational, and inspirational purposes only. All right. So how are we closing out the year in December? So I will start, and I have the 6 of Feathers, which is the 6 of Airs or 6 of Swords, with my beautiful dragonfly. And what I like about it, transition and insight. So especially having that death card where you have released and there has become justice and love coming in. I think it's just perfect. And it's time to finish the transition and go within. We're getting ready to hit that winter solstice, going into the darkest day. Go within and be prepared. What has these last 4 months taught you? And then go within so that as we step into 2023, you're coming from a place of insight versus reactionary. I think so many people like, oh my God, I'm fat, or I didn't save any money, or I'm still single, so I'm going to sit. No. Is that what you really want? Okay, you fat, you still looking good, babe, said from a fat lady. I'm just saying, really reflect. go within. Okay, Ritchie, what's your card for December?
I've got the Ace of Pentacles. I don't need to say this. Obviously, we're all going through lots of financial issues with our countries and personal finances and we're coming up to December, the time of Christmas. It's going to be tough for people. So this is a reminder, think about how you spend your money. Think about trying to balance everything. You don't need to go hell for leather at Christmas. Just being together and in that unit is a blessing. You don't have to spend a fortune on there. Spend wisely, but enjoy yourself and celebrate the end of the year that way.
Indeed, indeed. All right, Gerald.
I got the Knight of Cups. As and I like how this knight is looking off into the future, and everybody, I love a good cape and in the wind moment. It's very, very picturesque, very cinematographic, and this is perhaps it's time for us in December to really start to demonstrate our emotions in a new way. And sometimes nights can be a little rash. They can be quick. They can also lose their temper. Pause for a moment and get deep into what those emotions are. For many of us, still waters run deep. Allow some of the emotions to bubble up and allow us to demonstrate that, especially as we enter the darkest time of the year. The emotions are what's going to help us. They're going to either help us or they're going to hurt us. So, because we could go crazy, stir crazy. All
right, Ben.
Okay, so I've got the Sun for December, and I always think I love Christmas, and it's about being with friends and family, and it's about the fun that you have being with others. But also I think of the Sun as a new day, and I think December's the last month of the year, so we're coming up to a brand new year, and I think the Sun can represent that new year, that new start, new beginnings. But yeah, it's always a happy card to me, the Sun is, so especially Christmas.
And at Yule, the sun starts to return.
The sun returns.
The sun.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't say we were going to do this, but let's shuffle our cards again and pull one card that what we're looking for, the energy that we're seeing as part of 2023. And then I want to talk about the holidays. We have Samhain, Yule, and yes,
Do you want me to mix my other cards back in?
Yes, that's what I did. No, I mixed them back in. One of the things that I still don't feel like I've come to grips with the January 6th insurrection. I remember watching it, and I think the thing for me is like, as a person of color in this country, to see people of color being the victims of white violence, it's like, okay, not that it's good, but to actually see white people hurting other white people, it's like on national TV. It's like, do y'all see yourselves? Do you see what you're doing? Are you trying to overthrow this country? I think I still haven't come to grips with it. And to realize that we'll be walking into the anniversary of that, what will happen in the midterms. But on top of all that, how are we going to do the holidays where we were away from each other? Or like when Gail first started working at Memphis in BAP, people wouldn't, a lady came to work, said, I don't know how I got COVID. And then she ends up telling Gail she had Thanksgiving with 30 people. That our lives have been changed forever. For me as an American, everything I took for granted, I thought, this shit ain't guaranteed. You get 7 people that are mad about something and they have enough guns or whatever, and they can overthrow the government. And then about the holidays, like on Thanksgiving, indeed, I'll be seeing my mother for the first time in 3 years. So yeah, the holidays. So what is maybe let's pull the card, not maybe, pull the card for January. What is the energy that the season. Then let's talk about the holiday season, starting with the year of the wheel seasons. And then, what do we need to do to be in the right place for these holidays? All right. Does everyone have their cards?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Here's the back of mine. Here we go. All right, Ben, you start.
So I've got the Tower, which I know is like, hi.
You said it in 2023. It's going to be a shit show.
Watch out. No, the Tower, I know it looks destructive and that, but I always think the Tower is a good thing because it represents a change, and it might not be a change that we're expecting, but it can always be a good change because it's obviously sometimes we need that change to grow, to move forward in life. And don't forget that whilst the Tower's been struck, there's always a chance to rebuild around us. But just because it represents a shock change doesn't mean it's a bad change. It's just a change that is probably needed.
And I think go ahead, Gerald.
Oh, it feels like it's a bad change because it surprised us, and it's really hit deeply, and it's like, oh, now what?
I like the Tower card from did I interrupt you, Gerald? Go ahead. Sorry.
Nope, I'm finished.
I like the Tower card from what is the card that everybody loves now? We all have one. Anyway, it's a Tower card that has butterflies coming out. There's transformation happening in the midst of this.
Yeah.
And so I think so. I think one of the things Ben, that card could really be representing is that I think everyone thinks in 20 we're going to get back to normal. We're going to get back to there's no. That in 2023 things will be different. We probably won't all be stuck in the house, but yeah, it's going to be different. It's going to be
different. Very much.
Yeah. Oh, the Light Seers Tarot is what I was talking about. Yeah. That their Tower has butterflies coming out of the myth, and so I really like that. All right, Ritchie.
I've got the Four of Wands, and I like this card, and it follows on really nicely from what Ben said, because this, I think, is a card of simplicity, and find the pleasures in life that are simple. These people are just putting up 4 posts and hanging garlands on to do their wedding, to celebrate with. You don't have to spend lots of money and lots of resources and lots of time. Just celebrate with the simplest of things. Again, but being with friends and family, because that's the important thing there with that one. So and work with the people close around you as well, to do that. Try and, perhaps if you haven't phoned or spoken to someone for a long time, get back in contact with them. I think people are going to be needing to talk again, and the Four of Wands suggests a bit of teamwork there that's going on with it as well. So yeah, go simple. I think go simple and reach out.
I love that idea, Ritchie, of simplicity, and when you have these 4 wands in this square, it actually gives the ability for that energy to grow within that space. Yeah. It's a neat visual.
I was reading a book. Sorry, guys. I was reading a book last night, funnily enough, and it was comparing the Tower and Ritchie's card. And we can build up this Tower around us, and get kind of constrained. But then when we walk out away from the Tower, we go into Ritchie's card where we have space around us and are able to grow again in new ways. And I think that's really interesting that you pulled that, Ritchie, which kind of just follow on from that. So
also that, like Gerald said, that Four of Wands is also maybe to just act from a simpler place. Yes. I think we've all been so driven and oh my God, and monkeypox and all those things. I think we can just all get back to simplicity.
Yeah.
That all the stuff we needed, I can't live without this. Now you can't get it because of the supply chain and all that stuff. Maybe to go back to a simpler way. I don't know if that's the boomer in me talking, but just go back to a simpler way. Gail's like, what do I get you for Christmas? Like, I don't need nothing. Just you be here.
Yeah.
Send me a card. I always want a card for the holidays, but just some simpler ways. Get those actions that are gathering, pulling us together. And welcome Tony, Antoinette, and Jackie J too. Thanks for coming by. Yes, hitting the thumbs up. So Gerald, you're going to go last. So I have the 4 of shells, which is the 4 of cups.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it. Soul searching and reevaluation. That in 2023, I really, just from those cards we have, it's about getting back to your basics. What are you about? What am I about? And how can we do that? And to live 2023 from that place. I mean, I think one of the things that I've said before, that I think if we all could have just went in the house when COVID first hit and really did what God, Goddess, all of them were giving us the capacity to do, which was to reflect and turn within, we wouldn't have had so much mess. Like, no, I'm not gonna go inside. You can't ain't nobody trying to take away your freedom. Keep your germy ass in the house. One of the things I love about it is the mayor of West Memphis, which is not in the city of Memphis. West Memphis is in Arkansas, which is like, why couldn't you just name it not Memphis? Anyway, but the mayor came on the TV. He was on national news. He said, keep your ass at home. It's the mayor, right? That again, we're so afraid to be by ourselves, to reflect, to spend that time,
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and I see Patricia and Beth talking about the Confederate flag. I saw someone who has a license plate. So it's hate, not heritage. BS. BS. If I can't fly a rainbow flag and you're not going to be upset about it, I say, that's not about, okay, then it's my heritage, right? No. So yes, indeed. And I just think the world really is changing. In 2023, we got to be willing to step in a new way. All right, Mr. Gerald, close it out.
I have the High Priestess.
Oh, yes.
So secrets, knowledge, hidden, knowing intuitively, using our gifts for greater good, knowing how to use our gifts. This card also to me is a card that suggests healing. 2023 might be a time for healing. And she looks pretty happy with what information she has. So be happy where you are. Be happy with what you do. And if this is a card about keeping silent, hidden truths, then shut up. And just because you have an opinion doesn't mean that you need to share it with everyone, especially when no one asked.
Wow.
Shut the F up.
All right.
Right.
Queen, please. All right. Very good. And Patrice was talking about, being here for Gail and I have said this before, that when we got married on our front porch, I was afraid. And I told Lily, let's bring the wedding inside. And she's like, no, Mom, you can't be afraid. So we got married in this Tipton County where I live. They love Trump. They have a little sign here that says, be aware of Islamia care. It's like, you mean Obamacare? It's not, so much fear here. But to see, Patrice talking about it being on top of it, to be in a mixed race. A couple years ago, Lily's godfather and his husband and Gail and I were at this park, and Michael and I were walking ahead of Jim and Gail. So here comes this Southern lady, and she looks at me and Michael, and she's like, and then of course Jim and Gail come behind, who was a white man and a black woman, and she's like, and I just giggled to myself, I'm like, bitch, you don't even know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
You mad because you're seeing an interracial couple. What you don't realize, you're looking at two gay couples just not walking next to each other. And that it can be very hard here in the South to be that way. And that's why it's so important. Yeah. Get yourself together. What are you about? We're talking about these last 4 months. Make sure that who you are, because someone had made that when Ben had the Tower card about the foundations shaking. And I think there's going to be more shaking up, because I think to myself, how much stuff did I learn in U.S. history that's just some straight bullshit? Like the people on the Mayflower came here because they were trying to escape persecution. It's like, well, were they being persecuted by the Church of England? Is that true or not? I mean, all of a sudden it's like, like the day I wigged out when my daughter talking about George Washington, I learned that he had wooden teeth. right? She's like, no, he was wearing his slave's teeth. I'm like, first of all, why is that like a lie? So I think there's a lot of stuff, especially here in the US, that we were told something's just not true. Like Black people never revolted in slavery. So now it's like, no, they're having revolts every week. You know, or like, let's use the King James Bible against people. You mean the Bible put together by one of the gayest kings on the planet? You know, it's like, I think there is some truth. I think there's still some foundations that need to be broke up.
Yes.
Because they're not firm. We're standing on that tower I think it's very accurate that we're standing on some fake
foundations.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Shaky foundations.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Very much.
Yes. And then here they want to suppress history. You know, well, country don't feel bad. Who's feel bad? Kids don't feel bad about stuff. You know,
that's because they don't understand it.
Your parents feel bad about it.
George Orwell, 1984, he who controls the past controls the future.
Indeed. Yeah. Indeed. And so let's talk about, here we go. Yes, the tower is absolutely, I think there's some real truth about that. And then again, we had those 3 major arcana cards that it's time to really step up in a powerful way. And that's for us. Yeah. Those of us who are claiming to be different. I'm a light worker, or I'm a Wiccan, or I'm a powerful person, I'm a magician. Okay, that power is not for you to be like Harry Potter in your room doing stuff, right? You got to come out. The world needs that. Maybe not Slytherin house, but I'll leave that alone for now. All right, so here's the holidays coming up. Let's talk a little bit. Tell me about Samhain. Yes. Is that the next holiday on the year? So we had the harvest.
Next one's Mabon.
Okay, so we had Lugadesh. What is it?
Minnassa.
There you go.
Lammas.
Which is what?
Which was beginning of August, end of July.
First harvest.
The cutting of the first corn.
And then Mabon, which is?
The equinox, basically.
Okay.
And again, another harvest. It's harvest time. And then Samhain, which is the final harvest, but it's Halloween. Yeah.
Indeed, and All Saints Day. So I'll be doing a oneness meditation on Mabon, or as for me, it's the autumn equinox, and that's about bringing in that harvest, coming into that place of light and dark, the sun and the moon. So what do you do on Mabon that's different than Samhain?
Mabon, it's Samhain is when the veil between worlds is thinnest. Yeah. So we are honoring our past. We are looking at our ancestors and remembering those who came before us. Yeah. Many cultures, they do something associated with the ancestors.
Correct.
Paying them, celebrating them, Day of the Dead, All Saints Day. And so it's the final harvest, and basically it's a big celebration. Yeah. We did it. We've got everything in. We've got what we need. It's a fire celebration too.
It's also the end of the Wiccan year. It's the end of the wheel of the year.
So Samhain is the witch's new year, oftentimes. And Mabon, we're still in the midst of all of the harvesting. And this is when it's equinox. So the amount of light and darkness is the same. And it's also a time for us to think about, at the equinoxes, where do I want to spend my time for the next 6 months? Because where I'm spending, what I'm focused on, that energy that I'm focused on, is what I will work on for the next 6 months.
So at the autumn equinox or at Mabon, that you're talking about where I want to be for. Yeah. Okay.
I also use it to balance myself, and it may be grounding. It's it's only twice a year that we have equinoxes, and it's a really good time to go, right, as Jill said, I've got to this point, where do I go? It's a recharging point and a reassessing point.
Exactly.
All right, so I want to talk to Ben. Ben had me nervous when he's like, I'm coming off of YouTube, and I was like, the heck, what's going on? But then I want you, if you can, just for a few minutes, really talk to the fact that you sort of came out about self-care. And I think
Yes.
that is so important that, and yes, let me just say before that, yes, if aliens came to this planet and said, Minnassa or Villa Willis, we're going to eliminate one family off this planet, who would it be? I'd say the Kardashians. Let me spell their names for you. Here's their website. Please eliminate them. Okay, now I'm back to my loving, kind Kardashian. Because yeah, I just, for entertainment purposes only, yeah, aliens. I'm sure
Yeah.
they got a whole list anyway. But so Ben, so important
Yeah.
to talk about self-care, to come
Yes.
out about it. Please
Yeah.
share some of your process and how you continue to do that. And hello to gorgeous Tracy Ralph.
Hi, Tracy.
Hi,
Yeah, I
Tracy.
got to the point, I think, where I'd been on YouTube just over a year at that point, and I really did burn out, and I was accumulating an asset, loads of decks, just buying, and I did not purchase responsibly, and despite people telling me to, and it just got to a point where I loved being on lives all the time, but then I was just got to the point where I was like, I don't know what to say. I just felt like a complete and utter burnout. And it was a really hard decision to think, okay, I perhaps need to just take a step back here, and just have a little bit of a break. And I did intend to be off YouTube for 2 months at least. I thought, I just I need to get away from it, because one, I needed my wallet to stop screaming at me. And two, I just thought I just need to go into hermit mode, and I kept picking the hermit card. It was constantly coming out, which was telling me that you needed to go into yourself and have a bit of self-care. So I did that. And the other thing was, Minnassa, I was getting my head about stuff all the time. I was getting paranoid about certain things. And I just thought, oh, there's a lot going on here. So I thought I need to do a little bit of self-care. So I took about a week and a half off. And by the end of that week and a half, I missed everybody, my friends, Ritchie and Gerald, and, everybody that I used to speak to. And I thought, it's okay. I'm going to put some boundaries in place for myself. And I think that's so important to do, especially when you're a content creator, because I was putting pressure on myself as well to make sure I was doing a video every week. And I was like, and I've got to admit, I've got to be honest. The more I went into YouTube at the beginning, I did look at subscribers. I was very much keen to keep building on subscribers. And I lost track of what I really came to YouTube to do. And my word of the year at the beginning of January was connection. And I had to go back to that and think,
What was the word?
Connections.
Connection.
And I thought that's the whole reason I started a YouTube channel, was to connect with people. And all I did was jumped into the consumerism of things. And I was just buying. And it wasn't making me happy. But I said this to Ritchie, because when Ritchie came to visit me last weekend, it was the most wonderful experience. And I can't tell you, just to have him in front of me, I mean, I would have kept him here all weekend if I could. But I know, it was so lovely, that connection was. And, I will never forget that. It was such a special visit. And it made me feel that this is what it was about for me. It was about connection. And it made me think, this is why I joined YouTube. It's to connect with people. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to do now, is not put pressure on myself, not put loads of videos out if I haven't got time, but to connect with people and talk to people about different things and have those discussions. And it's not about how many subscribers you've got or anything like that. It's about the people you meet on here and how you can help each other. Because you forget how many people actually do subscribe to you, and actually how many people you help. Or make smile and laugh, and you don't have any idea that you do that. Hopefully you don't make people cry. But no, but I'm glad to be back. But yeah, I did need to take a break, and I think it's important to take breaks when you feel that you need to, and have that self-care.
Well, I just want to really honor you, Ben, for even just saying that, and that pressure. One is, that yes, Beth, I agree that there's other families to have the aliens take away, but the Kardashians, but they are public faces of this whole thing that Ben's talking about. I gotta be this, I've gotta be this, and that whole thing of, hey, Deb Age, it's like, yes. And so that, if you're not going to take care of yourself, who is? And you can be all out here up fronting and faking it, but there's going to be a point that it catches up with you.
Yeah.
And so, Ben, I just really want to honor you. And
thank
in
you.
doing that, say it is so important for us to take care of us. That's why I only have this show twice a week. I'm a hashtag overachiever. I'd be like 4 every Saturday and be on here once a week, but I was waiting for the sign, Gerald. What kind of PA is he being today, huh, Ben?
I know. Yeah.
He's gone into
overachiever. That yes, I have to think about myself, and I always talk about how Gail will yank my chain. Underachiever. I'm telling you, she will make sure. What are you doing this week?
Yes.
What are you? Because I'll go out and eat. And for me, the pandemic, yes, that connection, being able to meet with people and hang out with people, I love doing that. And so, yes, but I have to, y'all don't want me to not go to bed 4 or 5 nights at 8:30. Because the version of me that is the not enough sleep, but that's about resting, about self-care.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we're at the hour. So let's all talk about just one thing that you do yourself. This isn't what you're telling other people to do, but what is one of the ways that you take care of yourself, honor yourself, love yourself? And so I'll give you some time to think about it since I just dropped it on you. But I think one of the ways that I do that is to really honor what makes my partner happy by checking myself. And I love interacting with people. And so I really want to spend my time doing things with people that I love, because that's one way to take care of myself, to just meet someone and talk. When I leave, I'm like on a high. It is the best feeling. And so I really want to get back to interact, in LA, there's like Starbucks everywhere. Here in Memphis is not quite the same, but here I'm gonna meet you at Starbucks on, Ventura and Laurel Canyon, and you would just go there. And so I just want to interact. Ben, you're so on talk about connecting with people. That's why I love Gerald so much. Him and I think he thinks initially that we weren't very much similar. But he is I'm not gonna tell you guys, he is such a sweetie. Gerald is a sweetie. And I love that. Him and I, oh, that's right. Gerald and I actually text each other. Like I told, when I was on some people's shows, I gave them my phone number and said, hey, you can text me.
Yeah, Ritchie's like,
he never
texts me.
I texted Gerald while he was on the show. I texted Gerald one time while he was on the show. And Gerald texted me back. That it's that connection. I don't want to just see you on YouTube. I want to know, how can I be of support to you? Where can I bring my love and light to you on a personal level? And then, so yeah, for me, that self-care is to that connection. So on target. All right, Mr. Ritchie. And then, go away to steampunk once we're done here. Ritchie, what are one of the ways that you take care of yourself for self-care?
I know that I need my own space. Actually, I need my own peace, and that might just be for 2 minutes in the day. If it's longer, that's better. And Peter's very good at recognizing that I need to just go somewhere. It might just be, and normally it's outside. I love being outside. I think it's really important to go outside every day, even if it's for 10 minutes, because for me, it's like it resets all my circadian rhythms, just being aware of the changing seasons and the different light and stuff like that. And I used to suffer from SAD quite badly. And since I've been going out, if I can, I'll even go out in the rain, to be honest with you, it just helps me be back in that rhythm, that prehistoric or perhaps even older rhythm that we all have in us, that we fight constantly with electricity and doing things late at night and not listening to our bodies. So it's really important for me to go out every day and readjust back into the heartbeat of nature. Oh, that sounded deep, didn't it? But I hope that.
Ooh, you should write that down, Ritchie, for your upcoming.
I'm gonna write a poem called that.
Your upcoming Lenormand deck. You can talk about that and in the prequel, in the preface.
Yeah. Oh, I've got to write the book that goes with it, haven't I? Oh, I'm going to make it funny. I've decided.
So take your time. It's very good.
So there'll be a first for everything to be funny.
Oh my Lord. Kiva, welcome. So Gerald, what is your self-care? And did you see that Tony said now she sees why you're all suave and sophisticated today because we were going to be on the show together?
Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. I take care of myself by scheduling a lot of things on YouTube. I enjoy this. I am an extreme extrovert. I just posted a video yesterday of the stuff that I have coming up. The hashtag TarotStache World Tour. I'm here. I'm with Mystic Rose Tarot on Monday. I'm with Ritchie, Ben, and Deb H on Monday for readings. And then Ben is coming back on Tuesday for Ben and Jamie. We're talking about the Alleyman's Tarot. I'm expecting another person. I have to confirm that, but I do that. I do take some time. I enjoy this as a hardcore extrovert. This as a hardcore retired extrovert.
Yes.
From that it's great. And then I do those things, and then I take a nap, and then I get up, and then I do another one.
All right.
So there you go.
What time zone is Jamie in? Wandering Bardic Path. What time zone is she in?
Pacific.
Oh, Pacific. Okay, because I need to talk with her. I want to have her on my show, but I didn't know I didn't know where she was.
Now you know.
Now I know. Okay, Ben. So.
Yeah, so for me, I think getting the balance is very important, and I think that's something I've learned a lot this year. Is that I want to spend time with friends on YouTube, but I also like to spend time with family. One of the things I've struggled with is saying no. I'm very much a yes person, and I've always been, because I've always wanted to help people, and yes, that's fine, I'll do that, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's important to be able to say no, and it's okay to say no. It's you don't. I think that's the important thing that I'm learning to recognize, is that it's okay to say no, and it's not your problem if that person doesn't like the answer. But that's one thing that I'm learning to do, is to help create those kind of boundaries and say no more often.
And Ben, I'm expecting you to, if I invite you to something and it's not something you can or want to do, I'm expecting you to tell me no.
Well, I love coming on your channel and doing everything with you, so it's always
thank you. Well, but it doesn't always need to be.
Yeah, and I will say no, and I think the thing is, Gerald, as well, going back to you, I just want to say you're so right, Minnassa, when you say about Gerald connecting people. I mean, it was Gerald that connected me and Ritchie, actually, and he connected me to yeah, and it's connected me to a lot of people, through I've known loads of people through Gerald, and it's lovely, so just wanted to say that. But yeah, Gerald, I never feel like I couldn't say no to you, because you're always so understanding if I do say no. So yeah.
Well, see, and I think that's a really important thing.
Yeah,
I love to walk there.
Yeah, I love this, walking through the garden, just like Ritchie talked about being outside,
I think it's one of those things. We can take care of ourselves by making sure we are aware of what other people need, and then honoring that. You mentioned that, Minnassa, about honoring where someone is. That's very important. And I spend, maybe it's too much time going, what do you need from me? Don't feel you're obligated to do this just because I've asked. And when somebody is honest and says, no, I can't do that, what that does is for me, that builds the friendship, because I know for a fact you're going to tell me the truth and what you need.
Indeed.
That's how you build really strong friendships and foundations.
Indeed. And I think I want to honor the time. I've already let us go over the hour, but Ben, that when you say no to someone else, you're saying yes to yourself. And that is the important aspect of that. So I'm going to end the broadcast here. Please hit the thumbs up if you have not done so already. Thank you, everyone who was here. Keep and put a prayer request out for a man named Scott who was in his last stage of cancer. And so also remember those who his loved ones, that they also be surrounded by love and light. And we know that whatever happens to Scott, he's just transitioning back to eternity, back to his whole and full self. And so may that be done with ease and grace. And yes, my handsome group of men, I'm the madam. Everyone have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to my amazing guests for being here.
Thank you
for having us.